Good morning, afternoon, or evening. What a truly beautiful day it is. Wherever you are, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your humbled host, Tony Serrano, and this is the Ph.D. in me. Welcome back. This is the Ph.D. in Me podcast. With every episode, you will grow closer to who you are and learn to navigate life confidently. So last week, we talked about forgiveness. What a big step in our lives where we really learn to master forgiveness and not just say, oh, I forgive you, and then kind of lie to yourself and go, no, I really didn't forgive them, or I keep getting hurt by them. But really know forgiveness inside and out, whether you get an apology or whether you get accountability. Forgiveness is letting go from your side of how it affects you and how that hurts you. So if you missed that episode, definitely go check that out. It's a lot to work through, and it's not something that you're going to conquer overnight, and that's why the Ph.D. in Me podcast is here. Because we are learning how to navigate life confidently, where we know we got our back. So this week, before I go any further down that type of pathway, I wanted to back up a little bit, share a little bit of my story. So today I want you to just get nice and comfortable and get ready to listen. So my story is that I've always been a type A personality. I am a goal getter. I'm a high achiever. I've always been able to set my mind onto something and finish it. I never give up, and I always find a way. I'm relentless and resourceful in that aspect. And now with the Ph.D. in me, with finding who I was as a person, for knowing that what I'm going to do is for me. It's not because I am imposed beliefs or conditioning from any cultural or societal or parental pressure. What I choose to do with my day and how I choose to spend it and who I choose to spend my day with is fully 100% from my intention as a person. Now, that was something that was missing. It was missing. So again, I was a high achiever. I had a 4.67 GPA, which is pretty high, and I got into a really good school, UC Irvine, and I played sports, varsity sports. I worked all through high school, and anything that I put my mind to, whether it was a driving test, I saved up and got a car, like anything that I wanted, I was determined and confident to go get it. Now, today the story is eventually you may get burned out. You may get burned out on that, to know that there's always this pressure to perform, this pressure to have accomplishments, to be successful, even if we don't ever sit down and define what does success mean. And in reality, success is relative to the individual. What does that mean? My version of success may not be the same version for someone else. And that's okay. But at some point, sit down and define, what does success mean for you? What does it look like? Does it look like financial freedom? Does it look like community and giving back, sharing your gifts? Does it look like growing your family or developing friendships? What does success look like to you? And I asked myself that question in college. I remember actually sitting down with a camera and putting it on my desk, and I looked into the camera and I basically said that, is this all there is? What's my purpose in life? What is the point of life? I asked these existential questions. Why am I here? And I basically came to the conclusion that I can goal set and goal get and accomplish and be successful in the ideas of society, of the ideas of a resume, of something that can measure you, a monetary way to measure you and all the things that you achieve. But it wasn't who I was, and the path wasn't going to sustain me. Today's story is really about sustainability. Can it feed you? And can you go without getting burned out? Can you go without losing yourself as a person? Can you go down that road and feel confident? Feel that life confidence that we talk about, where you're a better person because of it. And what does a better person mean? A better person to me means that if I see someone who needs help, I go and I help them. If it's time to spend time with family, I'm present. I'm fully present. I'm not worried about past, present, future. I'm like right here, right now. I'm focused. You have my full undivided attention. Being a good person is also giving back. Giving back to people in a way that maybe you needed when you were going through something. And that's exactly why I'm here. So where I was in college, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what I had to offer. I didn't know anything really. I was just a clean slate. But I knew that obviously I could be a high achiever. It's just, how can I be a high achiever and it be sustaining? Because as you can tell from the title, are you burned out? Are you burned out? And the answer to that question is, if you are, maybe it just takes a little mindset change and you won't be. Maybe you're on the path that you need to be, but maybe you're getting a little impatience. You want the results right here, right now. You want them overnight, instantly, instant gratification. So maybe it's just a little shift to go, okay, no, Tony, I'm on the right path. This is what I'm supposed to do with my life. This is what I'm about. But I feel burned out because, and then explain. And try to see, what is the mindset shift that could just get you back on your feet? And for me, what gets me back on my feet is having a compelling why, a compelling reason to do it, to get back out there, to deliver, to share your gifts. And so your high achievements, your success, the money, maybe the cars, maybe the house, maybe it's the relationship, whatever you find is successful, all of those things don't matter if who you are as a person is not okay. You could literally have the picture perfect Instagram life, but if inside you feel something's missing or something needs to be healed and let go, or you need to push yourself. There's tiers to achieving. There's the high achiever. Some could say the overachiever, and that one's susceptible to burnout. Then there's the achiever, who sets a goal and delivers. And then there's the underachiever, who knows they want more, but doesn't believe in themselves and doesn't take action whether they believe in themselves or not. Because you can still be an achiever and a high achiever even if you don't believe in yourself, but you're being pressured by maybe your parents or maybe your friends competing. It's that competition. You don't have to believe in yourself to be a high achiever. Just having external pressure is enough to get you there. So it's not alone the belief in yourself. It's what's the motivating, because you may not be motivated by the belief and the confidence in yourself. You may be motivated by pain and suffering, not fitting in, being alone. That might be what pushes you. And a little foreshadowing here, that's what leads to burnout. When you're doing it for the wrong reasons, where you're achieving for the wrong reasons. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible to be busy but not productive? Is it possible to be busy but not productive? So say maybe you're procrastinating. You're busy, your to-do list has things on it. You have done things throughout the day. But productivity-wise, you haven't done the things you need to do to be efficient. You could have needed to do your taxes, but instead you said, oh, I was too busy to do my taxes. And I cleaned the house, and I washed the car, and I took the car to get gas, and I got groceries, and all of those things are busy. You did do something, but you were not productive in what you needed to be productive. And that goes with your life. You can be distracted, and you can be busy, and you can be social, and you can, but then what you want in your life, who you are, your life's purpose, could have no movement. It could not grow. It could just stagnate and be there and sit there. And even though we distract ourselves with movies or music or friends, that hasn't moved, and so it won't grow by itself. Maybe think about it like this. You can be on a treadmill, and you could be running, and you could be so tired. So it is true, you are tired, but you didn't get anywhere. You didn't get to where you want to be. You didn't get to what you want in life. Because yes, you were busy running on that treadmill, but you were in one spot. Versus you step off the treadmill, you see where you want to go, and then you go. You could be tired, but at least you're closer to where you need to be, where you want to be, where who you are is over there. So it's possible to be busy and not productive. So when I was just achieving and stuff, I would get burned out, and it would get really stressful. I'd get irritated. I have no patience. I wouldn't have any humility to consider and revisit. I would just say, oh, I have to push myself. And even if other people don't push themselves, like I have to. I feel guilty if I sit still. I feel guilty if I'm not being productive. And I was in a way punishing myself. And that's how I motivated myself to keep going. But you get to a point where you just burn out. Burnout means as hard as you try, you're just not into it. You could be doing the work, but you're not enjoying it. Number one, that's a big thing. You're not enjoying the work. It's not a passion anymore. It's a job. So what I really needed to do was sit down and figure out who I was. And that's why I started to meditate. I started to practice yoga. I even got my certification to be an instructor. I was teaching in gyms and I was trying to figure out how I could feel fulfilled inside. How I could be who I am and navigate life confidently. That's really what I was searching for. And it's a little bit easier, I'll say it's a little bit easier to balance yourself as an individual person. What did I mean by that? If you're a single person and you like going to the gym and you like to travel, you're really not attached to anything that can hold you back other than yourself. You get all this freedom to do whatever you want at any time of the day and be the person you are. Now, when you are in a relationship, it's a little bit harder because you have the other person and their interests, and a relationship doesn't mean that you have to be identical. If anything, I don't find that works too well most often. It's good to have a little bit of differences. And when you have those differences, a relationship is being into what the other person is into, even if you're not super excited about it. So you have to learn to be who you are, but also be with that person. And that gets a little bit more of a balancing act. So it's easier to balance yourself as a person individually. When you get into a relationship, you have to account for them and their lives and to be there, support them, and have fun with them in the way that you do. When you become a mother, it's a whole nother balancing act. And with the PhD in me, it's integrating at those different steps in your life, because they're going to require a different set of tools. They're going to require a different set of strategies, where this might have gotten you to that one point of balance in your life. But then if you expand your life to maybe another person or a child, then it's going to change your perception of the way you think about yourself, the way you think about time. And that's why sitting down and revisiting and asking yourself, so, you get burned out when you're just going, and you don't take a second to see where you are. And then by the time you're tired, you have no clue, you've lost yourself along the way. So what I'm trying to say is that high achieving has its time and place. You can pressure yourself to perform if it's from competition or just internally within yourself. It won't be lasting. You will get burned out if it's not something that serves your highest good. And what I mean by that is who you are. If it doesn't complement who you are and it's not your purpose, your passion and your purpose to get them to unite, it's a very beautiful thing. And you won't get burned out because you'll have that compelling why, that reason day in, day out that you're doing what you're doing. And it helps when you know who you are, because that passion and that purpose are going to complement each other. They are always complementary. You will not see a passion or a purpose that doesn't fit the person you are, right? They're going to complement each other. They're going to work with each other, and they're going to work together. And that's what I wasn't doing. I didn't know how to work together with myself. I knew that, I can get things done, but how do I get things done that is meaningful to me, that is helpful, that aligns with who I am and my talents and my gifts? So you still have to work your gifts. And that's why forgiveness, this last episode, it's the whole body, it's the whole person, it's your emotions, it's your thoughts, it's your past history, it's the relationships that you have with yourself first and the relationships that you have with others. All of that matters when you're trying to align your life, to balance your life, to realize when do you need to push and when do you need to pull back. Sometimes you need to be a high achiever. You have a big agenda, a big to-do list, and you got to hit your goals. And then sometimes you're not achieving enough. You're underachieving, underperforming, where you're sluggish, or you don't have the confidence, or you don't have a reason why to achieve. Maybe the reason to achieve isn't strong enough. Like, you saw it somewhere and maybe that inspired you, but to actually go and achieve that goal, other than, I just saw it from somebody else, like to be committed and present with that, that's what you need to become an achiever. I think the beautiful mix between a type A and a type B is the type B is the one that's chill and says, okay, if you need to take a break, take a break. And we don't have to finish it all today. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of type B. Type A personalities have to be perfect. It has to get done. And the beauty of it has to get done is that you're focused, that you're not procrastinating, that you're not distracted, that you can really focus and hone in and be very intentional. That's what's beautiful about the type A. The type A is gonna wake you up in the morning. And then the type B is gonna tell you, okay, you need to sleep in. Maybe don't start work just yet. Maybe take some time to meditate. So the way to really merge those two, I love it because type A is helping you actually complete your goals, and type B is helping you to not be so hard on yourself. It's gonna get done. It's gonna happen if you're putting in just 1 hour every day to the vision that you want for your life. If you just put 1 hour every day into contributing to the vision you want for your life, it's gonna happen. There's no way, it is impossible that it won't happen. You just contribute 1 hour a day to the vision that you want for your life. Type A will tell you everything right now. And really, attaining a goal is about consistency, not duration. So, if you are finding yourself burned out, the first thing I'll recommend is meditate. Take a moment to sit still, to breathe, to be where your feet are, to have an encounter with the present moment. Because when you're going, we're almost falling forward so fast that we can't catch our feet, or our feet can't catch our body. When you're in the present moment, you can stand still right where you are and you meditate. Whatever comes up, comes up. Maybe it's emotions. Maybe it's some feelings of guilt or shame because you are burned out. Maybe it's the thoughts that you're having that maybe make you feel anxious or make you feel discouraged. And maybe all you have to do is look back at all the work that you've done and go, yeah, oh wow, that's a lot of work. I've done a lot. And it's okay to gas yourself. It's okay to lift yourself up. It's okay to pat your back and say, yeah, I have done a lot. Maybe I don't give myself enough credit. Maybe that's why you're burned out. Because you just feel not enough. Not enough wood to keep your fire, so you're burned out. You don't have enough. But when you meditate, you just say to yourself, I am enough. I have everything I need. I possess everything I need. It's already within me. And you take that moment of silence, of pause, to just see where you are. See where you're at. Are you happy? Are you stressed? Are you afraid? And like in the previous episode, we shared the 7 levels deep exercise. So when you meditate, you can also journal. You can journal, am I afraid? And if so, why? Why would that be causing a burnout? Am I afraid this isn't the path for me? Or am I afraid to see the results, to be at a place in my life that I've never been? Am I afraid to see who I will be? And will I change as a person? And will I like that person? And will I recognize who I am? That's a valid fear. That's a valid fear. Sometimes we get burned out because we've never been so high, so better than we've ever been, the best version of ourselves, to grow to new heights. We've never really seen what we're made of, and now we get to see that, and maybe we're scared. We're afraid. Because if we get better in life, what if we don't recognize ourselves? What if we lose who we are as a person? So spoiler alert, you never lose who you are as a person. Growing is expanding. It's like this field where you just expand and you embody more and more and more things. Not one singular thing defines you. It contributes to who you are. You will never forget who you are. And it will never change you to your core, your inner child, your authentic self. And the previous example is this the path for me? Are you afraid because you feel like maybe this isn't the direction you need to go? Or maybe you want your life to go a different direction, or you don't feel like all of your capacities, everything that you're capable of, are being used. Maybe you're in a job where you know that you can offer more, that you can do more. And that job is not fulfilling to you because it's holding you back or only taking a certain part of you. And we want to feel fully alive, fully activated, fully useful and helpful in sharing our gifts with the world. So you may be fearful for one of those two things. So meditation is beautiful because you get a chance to explore. And you don't have to make rash decisions overnight. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. But at least you're getting a little bit closer. And that's the point of the Ph.D. in me, is that with every episode, you grow closer to who you are. Even if it's just a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit. Because remember what I said? I said that if you contribute 1 hour a day towards the vision you want for your life, it's going to happen. So just with this episode, if you're just a little bit closer to who you are, you're going to get the full picture pretty soon. And it's going to be very obvious, even if it's not clear right now. So you meditate. You're feeling burned out? Meditate. Think about it. Explore it. Feel it. Feel it in your body. Everything is welcomed when you meditate. There's no judgments like, oh, that shouldn't be here. No. You welcome it. You're like, okay, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? How do I feel when you're around? And you explore and you just embrace what you find. That has really helped if any time in my life I get burned out. And usually it's one of the two. Either this is not the direction I need to go, or I'm kind of afraid of the next level of life, to taking my life to new heights, to really seeing what I'm capable of. And the second thing that I will suggest, if you have burnout, take a break. Take a break. Because if you're high achieving and you're going, and you try to meditate, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard because I know. So take a break. Take some time to actually do things like take a day off and go for a run, go work out, and maybe read a book or go on a vacation. Create some space for you away from your work. Take a break and allow yourself to decompress. Not distract. There's a difference. Okay, distracting means I'm going to take a day off and I'm going to just keep working. I'm going to keep doing something. I'm going to busy myself. I'm going to think it's productivity. But look, if you are burned out, you have to actually take a break. Take a break from your work. and maybe revisit who you are and try that mirror exercise from a few episodes ago, where you just witness your thoughts, and you can tell from your face how you're feeling. If you're looking really tired, not taking care of yourself, you're not going to feel as good as if you were sleeping well, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind. So take a break if you're feeling burned out. And it's okay if you feel guilty for taking a break. That's a common side effect of a type A personality. The last thing that I'll suggest if you are burned out is to find a compelling reason not to. Find a compelling reason not to be burned out. It's really that mindset like I talked about at the beginning. If you have a compelling reason not to be burned out, where you were so driven, you were so committed, you were so patient, you're so confident, and you know, you're assured, you're grounded, you know, like, this is what I need to do, then I'm not going to feel burned out because I'm doing what I need to do. And again, that comes back to pat yourself on the back. Yes, you contributed. Any contribution is a contribution. If you made one little contribution today towards the vision you want for your life, that counts. That's productive. So find a compelling reason not to be. I love what I do. Then you won't feel burned out. You'll smile. And if you need to take a break, you take a break and you don't judge yourself for it, and you meditate and you do the other two things. A compelling reason not to be. I have nowhere else that I need to be but right here. That's a compelling reason. This is what I can do. This is the only thing I can do. This is the only option. There is no option. Like, this is where I am. This is what I'm about. That's a compelling reason. A compelling reason in a different example is when it comes to my relationship. I had a compelling reason to change my behaviors and my habits that weren't serving my partner. I had a compelling reason called love. Love. That's a compelling reason to do just about anything. Then when it came to our son, I had a compelling reason to heal my past trauma because I didn't want to pass that down. I didn't want my behaviors and my habits and my conditioning to affect his life. So I had a compelling reason, like, I'm not going to let that cycle continue. I'm going to break the pattern. I'm going to commit myself to look inward, to be fully humble, to be fully present, to embrace everything that I find, to explore the unexplored. And I'm going to be the best I can be. Because how can I expect my son to be happy if I'm not happy? How can I expect anything of him that I'm not willing to do or have in my life? If I want him to live with passion and with purpose, then I have to be able to live my life with passion and purpose. That's one thing I committed myself, is that I won't be a hypocrite. I won't be a hypocrite. It's a big role to step into, is to really be about it, really put your money where your mouth is, to not only talk the talk but walk the walk. That's a compelling why. It's like, okay, I have a reason that I'm doing this. There's a reason why I'm here day in, day out. And you pat yourself on the back, you meditate, you take a break, and I just feel that naturally you will start to smile, you'll start to dance, you'll start to move your body. Your body will move with you and go, oh yeah, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. I'm not burned out. I'm actually excited. And, even when you don't wake up every day like, oh, I'm just so happy and excited for the day. Like, let's go. Peacefulness, at a state of peace, because you get to that high achiever where you go, 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 and you force yourself. But when you get to a compelling reason of love and peace, it's sustaining. It's something that you can be sustainable in your life as a motivation, as something that is momentum building for you. And you won't get burned out because love and peace is eternal, it's infinite, and it's very motivating. It's so motivating versus punishing yourself, making yourself feel guilty, forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do. That will burn you out every day of the week. Forcing you to do something you don't want to do will burn you out. If you know deep inside it's not serving your highest good, you're going to get burned out. There's going to be a part of you that will resist and will, at one point, you can push and push and push and be such a high achiever and go and go and go and go. But at one point, you are going to go hit a wall of resistance where you go, I don't want to. You throw a tantrum, throw your hands up in the air. I don't want to. I don't want to. So if you channel that energy to have your reason, your compelling reason to not be burned out, let it be fueled by love. Let it be fueled by peace. When I'm here, when I'm with myself, when I am who I am, now and even in the outside world, that's sustaining with love. That motivation is love, and that's peace. And it goes, I don't have to be so excited. I can still get what I need to get done because I have an intention. Intention is so powerful. It's so sustainable. I don't think there's a better way to live than to have an intentional life where you are able to identify your needs and fulfill them. You know what you want, you know who you're about, and then you go and you get it. Then you take that achieving, you're an achiever. Not an overachiever susceptible to burnout, not an underachiever who's scared or who hasn't tried or hasn't found that compelling reason why. You're right in that base, that sweet spot. Yeah. And they all have their time and place. There's sometimes you just got to push through. But, this past weekend, I actually ran a half marathon. And it's funny, I didn't post anything. And I'm not sure exactly why I didn't, but when you're running 13.1 miles or more, or even just that equivalent to wherever you are, then you have to really push yourself to get there, to get to the finish line. And that's really where this sank in, this idea of punishing motivation, guilting motivation, anger motivation, those are not sustaining. When I was running the 13 miles, I was getting angry at myself. I felt like a failure. I started to shame myself. I was like, why would I even do this? Like, I started to just go in and lay into myself. And that was not helping me run. The whole time I thought I was behind, and I'll share the story later, but the whole time I thought I was behind the time that I had set as my goal. So I was just like, everyone was passing me. And I was just like, gosh, what a loser. I'm such a loser right now. Not a loser in life, loser in the run, in the race, in the time. And it just didn't feel good. And then I started to walk. And I said, is this helpful? In my head, I was talking to myself, like, is this helpful? Is this helping you? Motivate you? And a part of me said, well, you used to be able to force yourself through pain, to motivate yourself through pain and suffering. But there's another way to motivate someone, and it's to encourage, it's to love them, it's to empower them. And I had to say, it's okay, you're doing a great job. Like, I had to hype myself up. And then I started to run again. And I was still, part of me was still angry. I'm not saying that it'll just go away right away, but at least I started running again, because I'm like, why are you being so hard on yourself? And I'm getting to a point in my life where I can't just work out to feel the pain and to know that I did something and to get sore. It's like I'm working out because I love my body and I honor my body, and it's fun. It should be relieving. It should be stress relieving. It shouldn't be like a chore that I feel forced to do it where I would get burned out. It's more that I love my body and I love to see all that it could do. And that was my intention of even running the half marathon, was to see what I was made of. To see that even though I'm a mother, even though I'm a wife, that I'm still my own independent person, and I can set goals that motivate me, and to see what I'm made of, to see what the human body is made of. So all this to say is that you may be motivating yourself subconsciously without you knowing for pain reasons, where it would feel so painful to be embarrassed compared to your friend that you will motivate yourself, or that you will shame yourself so much because you're a high achiever, and how dare you sit still? How dare you take a break? You guilt yourself for not being productive. That could be the way you motivate yourself, and you will get burned out that way. It doesn't serve your highest good. It's not loving. Loving is such a higher frequency, a higher vibration, an energy, again, that is so limitless, that is so infinite, that once you tap in and you go, oh, yeah, you hype yourself up and you love yourself, and it's intentional and it's truthful and it's honest. You are perfect just as you are. And you have gifts, you have talents, you have capacities. You can share them with the world. Some will say life is hard. I say life can be hard if you don't have the tools, if you don't have the mindset to pivot when you need to say, okay, I'm not going to motivate myself by pain anymore. I'm going to motivate myself and inspire myself by love, by affirmation, that I know who I am and I know I'm doing the right thing. And even if it's not perfect, it's okay, because guess what? I'm contributing to my life's vision. I'm contributing to my purpose, to my passion. I am living with all my capacities. And I am grateful exactly where I am, because I know that me contributing is going to take me to another level in my life. It's going to really show me what I'm made of and what I'm worth. How fulfilling that the love that you have for yourself, now you can go love other people in that same capacity. So much love, because you know how it feels to put yourself down. So do you think you'll ever put someone else down ever again? You're going to lift them up. You're going to stoke their flame. You're going to spread your light. Share your light for them. You're going to see the beauty in all things. You're going to see the light and the love and the potential in all of them. And you're going to love them exactly the way they are. How beautiful. How beautiful. That is so sustainable. That is something that I can't get burned out saying. I can't get burned out feeling it. I hope you feel it with me. I hope that even though we're not in person, that you can close your eyes and you can feel the love. And you know it's sincere. You know it's honest. You know it's real. That's who we are. That's who every human being is. It's love. It's this pure love, this pure light. How beautiful. How absolutely beautiful. So just that moment with yourself, that's growing closer to who you are. And with the Ph.D. and Me podcast, with every episode, you will grow closer to who you are. And you will learn how to navigate life confidently. So with that, we'll wrap up today's episode. Are you burned out? You can meditate. You can take a break. You can find a compelling reason not to be burned out. If this episode was helpful, maybe you write a review so that others can know if this podcast is for them. Maybe you share it with a friend, someone who matters. And we still have spots open to join the free talk group where we meet every Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Email me info@thehumbledhuman.org to sign up, or DM me on Instagram @thehumbled.human. So in light and love, namaste. Have yourself a beautiful, bright day.